Junglee Joggers is a name you don't hear too often, especially when it involves two bright young ladies, or in this case, sisters, Husna and Taba, from the Muslim community. Bonded by their love of outdoor activities in its many forms, this dynamic duo are breaking controversial boundaries of what has been previously seen and allowed for females in the Muslim community. I have left London and ventured this time to Birmingham City to meet them at the scenic Cannon Hill Park for a stroll to discover more about breaking these barriers and their hunger for nature and healthy outdoor activities. Tell me a bit about how Junglee Joggers started.
Okay. Well, it started with COVID.
Yep.
So me and Husna, we don't live together. We've got different houses. So the only way I got to see her was outdoors because I was like, I'm not going to my mom's house with a whole load of people in there because COVID. Like I was quite strict on the rules, and my mum and the rest of my brothers and sisters aren't. So I was like, okay, let's meet up. Like we can stay like far away on our bikes, so we can get to see each other, but we can be on our bikes. So we started doing that. And then we were like, oh, we need to get fit and healthy because we were just at home, stuck at home. I think we started doing some like workouts over FaceTime.
Yeah, we did.
So we used to FaceTime each other and do workouts together during FaceTime. And then we were like, okay, let's go outside because I think they changed the rules. They were like, you're allowed to meet with like 2 households. So we started going to our local park early in the morning, like after Fajr prayer. And then we'd go jogging. And then we were like, oh, do you know what? We should make a page.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
We'll get free stuff.
yeah. Because you know, like, my brother, he gets so much free stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, do you know, because he's like an ambassador. And we were like, oh, can you imagine, like, if we had our own page and we're like ambassadors and we're like, got all this nice, yeah. So we were like, let's make a page. It wasn't the only reason,
Yeah,
but one of the reasons.
one reason.
And my husband, he was like,
You're married?
yeah,
Nah.
that's what I am with my sister. I'm married, I've got my own house. So we were like, what should we name our page? And he was like, you guys are Jungley.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, and we actually are, like, when we're out and about, we're making noise. And, like, we don't care. Like, we actually don't care. We just have fun and we just do the dumbest stuff. So he was like, call yourself the Junglee Joggers. So we were like, okay, Junglee Joggers. So like, that's how it started. Everyone, and do you know, we've always been called Jungleys. Like our older siblings call us Jungleys. When I used to go to youth club, like one of our leaders used to call us Jungleys. And we just like, everyone knows us as Jungleys. Like, you're such a Junglee man.
Now she's official, right?
Yeah. And it's so, like, even at the hike yesterday, like people knew of us. So they were coming up to us and they were like, are you the Junglee sister? Are you the Junglee Joggers? Oh my God. They're like, you guys are so funny. And we're like, really?
I don't know why, but they like the skating the most.
Yeah, because that's when you see you guys' personality the most. People like personality, yeah. That's what it is, because you connect with that. You don't connect with just like...
Just the post.
So what's some of the challenges that come with being young Muslim girls and being outdoors and in nature?
Okay. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. So, the most biggest challenge that I feel is like when people stare at you. Like the start of our journey, I always felt like I wouldn't ride my bike like in my area alone. Or running, I wouldn't run alone. Like still right now I do feel a bit uncomfortable. Like always run with Dave, I wouldn't run by myself unless it's in the canal where it's like no one. But then I feel like I'm scared to run in the canal because it's just dodgy. Imagine someone's like behind you with a rock and you just hit you and you fall in the canal. Like it's like a big challenge. Like I feel like we need more green spaces or something where like it's more open but like low key.
Yeah.
Or it would just take time to feel comfortable, I think. Yeah, because like there's not that many people that wear hijab and run.
Yeah.
That we see.
Like when we started our like Junglee Joggers page, we started with that in mind, that we'd like inspire other girls in our community to start running, because when we first started jogging, like it's because I was training for a half marathon with my brother, and then Husna used to she was too young to take part in the marathon, but she did all the miles with us. And then we kind of, we stopped for a while. And then we started it up again. And my brother was like, come on, we'll go jogging. 'Cause he jogs everywhere. He's a guy, it's easy. And we were like, oh, we can't run on the road and we don't want to. And he was like, why not? And I'm like, people are going to look at us. And he's like, nobody cares. It's in your head. Like, and I feel like that's another issue as well. I feel like we set up these boundaries within ourselves and we make excuses not to do things because we think other people are going to be thinking a certain way. But who cares? And when he said that, I was like, do you know what, Hassan, let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. And we did. We ran along the roads and it was so liberating. Like,
was so
I posted
nice.
it and I was like, it's the first time we were running in our city centre, like where people go shopping. Like we came off the canal and we went running and I was like, oh my God. And you're just running and you're in your own zone.
It's
And
something about running on the road that feels beautiful. I think it's a tarmac from the shoes.
Yeah.
It's just so smooth.
it's much easier than running on like a, because when we're running along the canal, it's a bit of a rough surface and it's not like the best thing to run on. But like you said, running along the road is so much easier.
But do you know it's worse to run on concrete?
I know, it's
With
bad
the
for your
impact,
knees.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas like on the grass, it's like smoother, it's like
know.
softer on the knees.
It's just
But yeah,
whatever.
But I know what you're saying in the sense of it's easier, like it's easier.
You're
to
not
just-
worrying where you're putting your feet.
Yeah, mud or
Yeah,
splash
shit.
or.
Yeah.
But I saw that you guys went. You've been to Ben Nevis.
Ben Nevis.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
I'm not good with the words. Yeah, and how was that? Going to the highest point. That must have
In
been
the- in
amazing, like
Britain.
landscape-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to know that you're literally on the top of the UK. Like, there's nothing higher
On
than
top
that.
of the world.
We went. I think the first time we went was in 2015, and we went again in 2019.
Yeah, I've been twice.
So we've done Ben Nevis twice now.
Wow.
Yeah. Me and Hussein, we were just talking about yesterday. We really want to do an international challenge because we've done like the 3 peaks here, and then we've done like the smaller like mountains. They're not entirely mountains. They're like hills almost, like smaller hikes. But like we want the next big challenge. We want to challenge ourselves.
K2 maybe. We're going to
Yeah.
Pakistan hopefully.
Yeah, you should
yes.
consider. There's a K2 challenge. So,
Pakistan.
I don't know if you've heard about Penny Appeal. It's a charity. Penny Appeal. So
Orange.
Orange. My brother's a regional fundraising manager. for it.
Okay.
So that's
what,
why.
what did they do? What did they do?
So he's like the head of challenges. So he organises challenges. So if there's like a cause that's happening, he gets a whole group of people together. They fundraise money for it. So these challenges are sponsored. So someone will go on a challenge, people sponsor them, and that's how they raise money.
Makes sense.
So the challenges will be like crazy, like 2 weeks, like Everest Base Camp or
Wow.
K2 or like mountains in Kilimanjaro, the whole
Yeah.
mountain,
Wow.
and they'll spend like a few weeks trekking.
When you speak about your brother, right, I had like an epiphany moment because I was following him, then I was like, wait, you guys are siblings. I was like, what? Like, I was thinking, it's crazy how it's crazy how I'm seeing it from a social media perspective.
Yeah.
Because I'm entering into a new world myself. It's not
Yeah.
something that's new to me as well.
Yeah.
It's like a new thing. So I'm seeing like all different people, and I'm so interested, especially like people from our community and stuff, and like just trying to get people that don't usually see outdoors for them or nature for them.
Yeah.
And when I started seeing like there's actually people out there also starting off their journey, that's why I was so excited to meet you guys as well, to hear about your story and what inspired you guys.
You'd be surprised. There's actually like a whole community of like do you know my brother? He started this page called Muslim Hikers.
I
And
followed it as well.
yesterday 70 people turned up to this hike.
Wow,
So it was his
70.
first
That's
ever
a
group.
big
Big
group.
I don't think I've met anyone as well. Like
yeah,
they're all new people.
So like sometimes when we go on these like charity, it's the same people, same faces, you see them. But this was like 70 entirely new people.
Wow.
And they came all around the UK. Some people from Bolton, Edinburgh,
Wow.
even like down
Glasgow.
south London, Glasgow, like everywhere. And they've come just for
Mad.
one day. Some people stayed in Snowdon. And it was amazing. It was really, really nice. And even they were saying like, we didn't know that there's so many people that have an interest in there. And like my brother, he was saying I could have hired a coach, but he's like, I purposely didn't hire a coach because I want you guys to feel comfortable and empowered to make the journey yourselves. Because then you get so reliant on like finding transport, but then you won't go and like take the trip yourself, and you know, you rely on someone else to take you.
Yeah.
But he was like, you'll feel confident in even going yourself next time. But you don't have to rely on a group taking you. You've done you've done it yourself once, you can do it again, kind of thing.
That's what I was gonna ask about as well. You guys, I've noticed you guys like do a lot of group things as well.
Yeah.
So what's it like? Like, do you feel that you need a group to do it, or do you feel like you can also?
We can't drive.
Yeah, no, I
That's a
can't
big
drive
barrier.
still, so that's a big barrier. It's either coming on a train or finding transport, like on a coach or thing like that. But locally, me and my sister will do a lot of things by ourselves. But when it means like travelling outside of Coventry, or even like the West Midlands, we have to go with a group, or even if it's someone in the car like taking us. It's hard though. If you can't drive, then you know it's a bit difficult.
A bit limited.
A bit limited.
Your destinations.
Yeah.
Also, like, you see, like, because you guys mentioned also obviously prayers and stuff.
Yeah.
Whilst you're out on hikes, do you guys like stop off to pray, or do you guys?
Yeah.
Wherever.
We've got a prayer mat in our bag. Like we just said to Kristen, like after we do the interview, we'll have like a prayer break. But it's so nice. It's so peaceful. Like you're in the most beautiful places and you're doing the most beautiful thing, which is praying. Like we don't mind. Like we're so comfortable with praying anywhere. Like we don't mind like people looking. We don't feel embarrassed. Like it's okay. Like you're not doing anything bad. You're just praying. People will ask. People will look, but it's absolutely fine.
Like the whole world, you can just pray anywhere.
Exactly.
Not the toilet.
Yeah,
A
like
bit dodgy.
God told us He made this earth for us to pray in. Like He made it like a place of prayer.
Wow, look at this
Anyway.
tree.
That's a pretty tree.
This tree.
Yeah.
That tree is
We have a favourite tree as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite tree?
There's on our walk, there's just a really pretty tree that just. There's a few trees actually.
Yeah, I have a favourite. That's my favourite tree.
Yeah.
Like it's in like, it goes like this, and the leaves are like so big and like lily pads. It's so beautiful.
The one in town.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
near the police station. Yeah, she likes that one. But on our River Sal route, there's this tree that just it goes over the river, and you can actually like sit on the trunk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can feet just dangle over the water, and it's just so pretty.
Like
It's so
cinematic
nice.
kind of.
Yeah.
Even here looks like a botanic kind of
Garden
vibe going on
Yeah.
here. Looks cool.
And everything looks so much better in the sun as well.
So with the weather as well, does that? And one thing actually, because you guys are hijabis as well,
Yeah.
whilst you're out, do you have like different kit or stuff to help with the hikes and stuff like that? Or
I struggle with, like, even yesterday I took 2 outfits with me because I wasn't sure what the weather was going to be like, and I didn't know like how comfortable I would be, because when you're wearing the hijab you think about what you're wearing a little bit more. Like if I wasn't wearing my hijab I'd feel very comfortable wearing anything, but when you put that on your head you have to be like, oh, my arm's showing too much, or am I showing too much, or that kind of thing. So I think that's a bit of a struggle. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like you get in the summer. It's so difficult because you get so hot and you can't wear the layers. When it's winter, you can just wear layers. You can tie things around you.
Yeah.
You can cover up. But then when it's summer, it's so difficult. Like, you have to like keep trying everything in your bedroom, like the day before. Like, is this gonna work? But then it's kind of like the sacrifice you have to make. Like if you're trying to be modest and like hopefully it'll work out.
It's not the
know?
worst thing. Like when you're out and about, like you
Yeah.
kind of forget. But I think it's just preparing yourself. Like
Yeah.
you want to feel comfortable. I think for the most part, it's just about comfortability. You just want to feel comfortable whilst you're hiking and feel like you're being modest at the same time. But like once you're in the hike, you're not really thinking about your hijab. You're like sweaty and gross, and you know, like who cares? You're like even
My
yesterday,
eyebrows
like yesterday we were on the line and she looked at me and I was like, your eyebrows need combing. And she was like, we're on a mountain, it's fine. But we literally got the eyebrow comb out and like combed them for her. But yeah.
But I think that's all part of the fun as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, just those moments, because a lot of the time when you're not in nature or the outdoors, we focus on like how we're looking, like, oh, does my hair look alright, my clothes or whatever. But when you're like in nature and outdoors, it's like whatever goes.
Yeah, and I think that's why we love, like, well, especially me, I love being outdoors, because that's the feeling you get. When you're like on a mountain or in a big field or you're under the sky, everything in the world just seems so little and unimportant, because you're just looking at everything and you're like, wow, we're so insignificant when you're just, in the grand scheme of things, like nature is
We're
beautiful,
nothing,
like we're
literally.
nothing, like it's your worries just stop, kind of thing. I think that's where like we just find peace. It's just,
Definitely.
I just wish I
And
could,
I love photography, so every time we go out, it's a bit like, do we walk or do we run, or do I take a picture? It's so difficult.
No, it's annoying. You jog, and then she'll pause the watch. She's like, I gotta take a picture of the sun. I'm like, really? And I'm like, you don't want to stop that momentum, so you're still jogging, and I'm like, hurry up, take it, and then we carry on. I'm like, oh my god.
It's so difficult.
But it must be nice though, you guys being sisters as well.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
Like what? So, like, you guys are like close in age as well, kind of.
No, I'm like almost
No.
10 years older than her.
Yeah.
No,
it's like 6 years.
26 and 19.
19.
How many years
That's
is
not
that?
10 years.
7.
It's 7.
Almost
7
that.
years.
Yeah.
Almost
Minus
3.
3.
That's like nearly a whole
We
decade
round
difference.
up. After 5, we round up.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Alright, okay.
Quick maths. Now, I think when we were like living in the same house and we were like, she was growing up, I feel like she was my older sister. Like, and I used to struggle with it, and we used to fight all the time. But I think since she's grown up a little bit, like she's literally like my best friend. She's my best friend.
Oh, we work
She's my
together.
best friend.
Oh my god, she's my boss.
Yeah, I'm actually her boss. She's my boss.
Just to like kind of round it off, is so I'll share with you guys a bit about me.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not how I got into outdoors, but my thing was that I went to the Peruvian Amazon in 2018.
Wow.
So I went with the British Explorer Society. I camped there for like 3 weeks in a remote place and without phone and with people I didn't know. And most of them like middle class white kids as well.
Yeah.
Me being someone, being a black and Pakistani girl in that
Yeah.
context was quite interesting because I also come from humble backgrounds in the sense of near a local estate.
Yeah.
I didn't go out much in the sense of that type of things, camping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't have no experience with it at all.
Yeah.
So whilst I was out there and I came back and I realised the impact on how much that trip did for me.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, I'd been to Pakistan, I'd been to Jamaica, but I feel it was a different content because it's when you go back home, it's
Yeah.
like it's emerged already. The nature and people are not separate. Whereas with this, I could clearly see like the difference in the camping and the skills, and it was just a whole different world for me. And I was like, people in inner cities, especially young people, they're not doing this. They're all like social media, or their focus
Yeah.
isn't on like even you guys, how you guys have shared how
Yeah.
much it benefited you during
Yeah.
COVID, and also like me, I saw how much of a benefit it could be for other young people too.
Yeah.
And you guys sharing to me today has inspired me even more because
Yeah.
like especially being young Muslim women
Yeah.
as well, it's like you don't come across this type of thing, and I feel like it's really important to get more people engaged with the outdoors and nature. But I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys have any tips as well? Do you guys have any tips for any other like young Muslim girls or people to kind of, you know, get engaged with the outdoors and nature?
Yeah. I think it'd just be to not be afraid.
Yeah.
And I feel like most of the boundaries that are there are things that you've put up yourself. Like, so what if racism exists? So what if people will look at you? That's normal, it's natural. But don't let that stop you from enjoying the outdoors. The outdoors is for everyone. Like, there's no labels on the outdoors. Just go and have fun, enjoy it. Like,
Yeah. It was kind of like when we were talking about makeup, like when we don't have to wear it, I was like, we don't live for anyone, we live for ourselves. So stop
Yeah.
thinking about what people are thinking about you and just do you, literally. Like whatever makes you happy. If you want to go outside, if you want to ride your bike, just do it.
yeah.
And 100% you'll feel better even after it, after the experience.
Yeah, like, even out us walking, like this breeze in our face, it's so refreshing. Like, there's so much to enjoy in the outdoors. Like, even if it's not, it doesn't have to be sunny. Like, even the rain is so like calming and it's spiritual. It's like refreshing. It is like walking, just breathing in that fresh air, like none of that noise. Just enjoy it whilst it's here. Like, you're only here for a short time, and then you're missing out on so much. And it's, do you know, you'd be surprised, even in the most built up concrete places, you're probably like 5 minutes away from a public footpath.
Definitely.
Like,
Yeah.
download iOS maps, just pull the maps out and just look for any green space and just look for little signs that say public footpath. There's so many, and they just lead fields and fields and fields of them. Yeah.
True. So what about beginners as well? Like, I know that's like more of the like emotion, the mental side of things.
Yeah.
Like physically, like beginners, what would you say for them? Like some tips for them?
I think walking, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 15 minutes of walking around your own block, 20 minutes, and then just up. Like, don't go deep into something and think, yeah, I'm gonna do 5 miles of running today if you've never done it before. Like, when we started running, for a good few weeks, we were just doing 1 mile a day or 1 mile every other day until we found 1 mile really easy. Once we were comfortable with 1 mile, we upped it to 2. We didn't just jump.
Yeah.
It's a process. Even with our bike riding, like we started with really small bike rides, like half an hour ones. Half an hour became an hour, then an hour became 2 hours, then 3 hours, and I'm like, oh God, I have a husband who's waiting for me at home. I gotta go home. So just take it easy. Like, don't think you have to just dive right in. It's a process.
Yeah, it's consistency as well. Like,
Consistency.
yeah, it's don't give up. Because even our running, yeah, we were on top of it. We were like, we started jogging, but then we weren't consistent.
Yeah, we're not, me and Husna, we're not consistent in anything really. I think we're the kind of people that just do things on a whim or like just go with the flow kind of people. But I think if you want progress and if you're doing it because you want to get better at something, it needs to be consistency. We just do it just for fun. So we're not really like that focused on getting
Like,
better. if that
yeah,
makes
like
sense.
the physical side of it.
Yeah, we do it just because we enjoy it and we have fun with it.
That's the most important.
Yeah, I think that is.
That is
but,
the most
but if you wanna take it seriously, take it seriously. But yeah, you have to be consistent. Yeah.